terms of both of the 6th-round draft picks, Logan Lee and Ryan Watts. Logan Lee, I think that this is going to be interesting in terms of the matchup that he provides versus Loudermilk and Leal. Leal is the best athlete of the group. Loudermilk has been more of the consistent one of the group. But I do feel like with Logan Lee, not as athletic as either one of those dudes, but I think because of how fundamentally and technically sound he is, he can make both of those dudes have to raise their game. And I think if we can get more production from a Leal, who we did invest a higher pick on, then maybe this pick helps us out even more with that in terms of paying those dividends. Like, I don't know if Logan Lee develops into what we thought DeMarvin Leal could be, but I do feel like at the stage of where we're seeing DeMarvin Leal at right now, that Logan Lee will be able to push him.
People are saying he's the next Brett Kiesel, maybe.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I can see it.
Why y'all say Brett Kiesel?
Or Aaron Smith.
Why y'all naming them dudes?
They're saying Aaron Smith,
Why
too.
y'all naming them? Y'all are sick.
But you look at the comparison. Now, I want to ask you this, though. I feel like Logan Lee is pretty athletic, though.
He's a form. So put it like this: like
he graded like really high in
so
the athleticism stuff.
When we talk athleticism, right? When I say I don't think he's as athletic, I'm just strictly talking about when I'm watching him try to make a play. When I watch the play happen and him trying to move in space, does he run well in terms of just testing? I'm sure he does. Just going off of his number being 85, I'm assuming he was a high school tight end or offensive player that
he
got
actually
moved over.
was.
Yeah, I'm like, because I can see your number. That's what they do. They say, hey, come here, you can play a sexy wide receiver or a tight end, but no, we're going to move you into these trenches, but we couldn't tell you that, otherwise you wouldn't have committed here. So I'm like, yo, you probably do. Cool, you test well, dope. But when I'm watching him play, I don't personally see the same burst from a change of direction standpoint as I do when I watch Leal or when I watch Loudermilk. And that's why I say I don't think he's as athletic as those two dudes in comparison. But is he athletic? Yes. He's not, a 2x4 stiff wood.
You're talking about specifically for the position.
For the position. That's the stuff where I'm looking at in terms of he's going to have some issues with some of these athletic tackles at DN. In our 3-4 look, if his eyes are late, if his eyes are bad and his hands are late or his first step isn't the best, because he doesn't have a ton of just makeup foot speed, right? We talked DeMarvin Leal. DeMarvin can get reached and he's athletic and fast enough where he can still run behind that dude and make a play. We've seen Tua do it, right? We talked about Tua and say that's his athleticism. Whereas Cam can do it, but Cam isn't as athletic where he just runs around a lot of stuff like we see Aaron Donald do. It's like Cam is super fundamentally sound. His eyes always right. His hands always right. His first step is always right. So he's always on the front side where he needs to be. And then his size, physical traits, and everything takes over. When I look at Logan Lee, I see more of that. And that's why they brought up the Kiesel or the Aaron Smith, because their game is very similar. They weren't this. Now, Aaron Smith is an athlete. I don't care which. Kids are an athlete too. Both of them dudes are athletic as heck. But it's like you watch their eyes, you watch their hands, you watch them off the ball. They're never late. They're never wrong. And that's why they were able to have the success in the careers they did. I think for Logan, he would have to work to get to that level of detail, but he definitely has the potential. And you can make a case that his size coming out is better than both of, Kiesel and Aaron Smith in terms of rookie year. So that's the other part when you're looking at Logan Lee where you feel good about that too.
What does he got to do? Bulk up a little bit?
No,
put on some weight?
I don't think it's a bulk up thing. I think it's just more so just you have to get in here and work with Cam. When you watch Cam work in practice, watch Cam's hands, you watch Cam's pad level, you watch Cam's first step, it's every single time. That's the difference. It's like if we do it 10 times, how many times can you do it exactly right? Cam is going to do it 9 to 10 times every single time right. DeMarvin Leal, you're looking at about 5 to 6 times. Loudermilk, you're looking at about 4 to 5 times. So it's like, it's not an issue of can they, because they all have the ability to do it. It's you got to be willing to do it every single time.
Especially Leal. He's supposed to be a first-round pick.
But you got to do it every single time, and that's the difference. At this level, everybody's talented, so everybody can flash. Anybody can make a play. Anybody can make 2 plays. But can I depend on you when everybody knows it? And if we're going to do it 10 times, Can you get me that guaranteed result at least 8 of them times? If you're doing it 9, 10, yeah, those are the elite of the elites. But it's like, if you're not there, well, how many times are we shooting at this thing? And now we got to evaluate you in that sense. So that's kind of how I look at, that.
Yeah, and comparing Lee to the other guys that were available at the time too, there wasn't anyone that really stuck out. DJ James maybe.
Yeah, I was looking. I
out of
see
Auburn.
A ton of like DJ James. I don't hate Logan Lee's pick because of DJ James.
Right.
Like, you see what I mean? Like, I'm just like, yo, this is the route y'all wanted to go.
D-line depth.
I understand.
We needed D-line depth at that
D-line
point.
depth is competition for 2 dudes that we already have here. One guy, I think he has a more realistic chance of, surpassing in terms of Loudermilk. But what I'm hoping it does is light a match under Leal. Because
Absolutely.
he should not, as I sit here today, he should not beat out Leal. But if Leal doesn't take another step, Logan Lee is definitely good enough, definitely talented enough, definitely fundamentally sound enough to beat him out. And that's where how I look at this pickup.
Yeah, this year's make or break for Leal.
Yeah. It's crazy because he has, like, when you talk just talent, athleticism, size, Leal checks off
He was
every
doing
single
some
box
pretty
you
decent
want.
stuff his
Yeah.
rookie year.
I just feel like we hurt his development a little bit by product of the injuries that we had at outside linebacker, where we would have to play him as a outside dude, so he didn't get that solidified foundation of D-line, hands, pad level, eyes. He was moonlight doing both, and I just think that when I watch him at times, the consistency in his technique, the consistency in just every single play looking the same. When you come off that ball, it's up and down. And that's what you kind of deal with, or that's the risk you run when a guy isn't 100% just playing this one thing. So, we'll see though, man. But hopefully, man, hey, he a pro. He been in this league a couple years now. He's seen how it goes.
Yeah, we're going to find out what we need to find out about Leal one way or another.
There is no surprises. He know exactly what time it is, man. Wherever he at right now, put that work in, because you know what time it is, man. This show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. We talking about the top rated sportsbooking app in North America. I mean, we like to call them the GOAT, right? When we're talking about them, that's what they refer to as. And not only do we talk about them, okay, we also come bearing good gifts. And that is by way of a promo code. So for all the new customers out there, man, when you first download the app, use the promo code MOATS. You make that initial deposit of $5. You will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly to use for potential, wagers. It's a dope concept. But we also know that the NBA playoffs are going on right now, and it is spicy, crazy action. Definitely like all that we're seeing out there, man. But if you want to get a little extra, activation when you're watching the games, they also have the No Sweat SGP/SGPX everyday bets going on for the NBA playoffs, all right? And that's for all customers as well. Pretty dope. But we also understand that, man, sometimes when you're having fun, you might have a little bit too much fun. And when you're having too much fun, you might develop a gambling problem. You might need some crisis counseling or even referral services. And for the people in New York, these are the numbers that you could text or dial. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. I said 1-800-GAMBLER.